For the next 90 days, you have the opportunity to transform your life in ways that may seem impossible today. What you do consistently, day after day, shapes your future more than any moment of inspiration ever could. Napoleon Hill taught that success is built upon simple principles repeated with discipline, clarity, and purpose. And over these next 90 days, you can set into motion habits that will build momentum, strengthen your mind, and move you closer to the version of yourself you want to become. These 90 days are not about perfection. They are about intention. They are about showing up for yourself with the commitment to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. They are about replacing self-doubt with belief, replacing hesitation with action, and replacing passive living with deliberate creation. The next 90 days can become a reset, a rebirth, a recalibration of your inner world. And as Napoleon Hill taught, your inner world is where all transformation begins. You do not need to have your entire life figured out to begin. You need only a direction, a desire, and the willingness to take daily steps forward. With consistency and focus, 90 days can create new neural pathways, new habits, and a new sense of identity. What begins as discipline soon becomes routine, and what becomes routine eventually becomes who you are. So take this message not as a challenge, but as an invitation. An invitation to rise, to commit, to practice what Napoleon Hill called definiteness of purpose, a clear, burning desire backed by unwavering persistence. These next 90 days hold the potential to elevate your mindset, sharpen your discipline, and reshape the trajectory of your life. And if you stay committed, you will look back with gratitude that you began today. Before you begin any transformation, whether it is financial, personal, physical, or spiritual, you must establish a clear and definite purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that definiteness of purpose is the foundation of all success. Without a central, guiding aim, your energy becomes scattered, your focus becomes diluted, and your progress becomes inconsistent. But when you commit to one specific direction, your mind begins to organize your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions around that purpose automatically. For the next 90 days, you are being asked to choose one goal that truly matters to you. This is not a vague wish or a hopeful desire. It is a deep, compelling intention that lights a fire within you. It must be something you feel emotionally connected to, something that stirs your ambition, something that you can wake up thinking about and go to sleep dreaming about. Hill believed that when your purpose becomes emotionally charged, it activates the subconscious mind, turning desire into a driving force that propels you toward achievement. Your definite purpose needs to be specific enough that you can measure your progress. It should not be, "I want to be better," or "I want to improve my life." Those ideas are too broad to create momentum. Instead, your purpose should be something like, "I will save a specific amount of money. I will grow my business by a certain percentage. I will write every day. I will transform my health through daily routines. I will practice discipline in a specific area." When your purpose is measurable, your mind knows exactly what to aim for. The next part is clarity. Clarity eliminates confusion. Clarity removes excuses. Clarity dissolves resistance. When you know exactly what you want, you eliminate hesitation because there is no second guessing about your direction. This clarity guides your decisions throughout the day. When faced with choices, how to spend your time, where to direct your attention, what to say yes or no to, you automatically choose the option that aligns with your 90-day purpose. This is how purpose becomes power. Once your purpose is defined, you must write it down. Putting your purpose into written form strengthens your commitment. It creates a contract with your mind. You are no longer carrying a vague idea in your thoughts. You are holding a declaration of intent. Hill taught that the act of writing is part of the process of planting a goal deeply into the subconscious, where it can begin working behind the scenes, influencing your habits and actions without effort. Your 90-day purpose should also be visible. Read it every morning. Repeat it throughout the day. Let it become part of your inner dialogue. Allow it to shape the way you think and the way you approach your tasks. When your mind is consistently fed with the same clear direction, your thoughts begin to align in predictable patterns. You stop drifting. You stop searching aimlessly. You begin moving with intention. This is what definiteness of purpose does. It simplifies your life, sharpens your focus, and energizes your actions. It gives you a target so clear that your mind cannot ignore it. Once you have established a clear and definite purpose for your next 90 days, the most important step is building daily habits that support that purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that success is never the result of one massive effort. It is the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape your mindset, determine your discipline, and ultimately decide whether you move toward your goals or drift away from them. Many people believe they fail because they lack motivation, but it is not motivation that creates lasting success. It is routine. Motivation rises and falls, but habits keep working even when your energy is low or your emotions are unsettled. When the right habits are in place, progress becomes inevitable. You do not rely on willpower alone. Instead, you rely on systems that make success the natural result of your daily behavior. The next 90 days should be treated as a training ground for these systems. Start by identifying 3 to 5 daily actions that directly support your chosen purpose. These actions must be simple, clear, and easy to repeat. If your purpose is financial, your habits might include budgeting, daily tracking of expenses, or dedicating time each day to building skills that increase income. If your purpose is physical health, your habits might include consistent exercise, hydration, or mindful eating. If your purpose is personal development, your habits may involve reading, meditation, affirmations, or writing. The power of daily habits lies not in their intensity, but in their consistency. A habit repeated for 90 days becomes part of your identity. It becomes something you do automatically, without struggle or negotiation. Hill emphasized that repetition is what turns action into belief and belief into behavior. When you commit to doing something every single day, your subconscious mind begins to adjust, making the habit feel natural and aligned with who you are becoming. Structure your day intentionally. Create a morning routine that sets the tone for discipline. Begin with actions that remind you of your purpose. Reading your written goal, speaking affirmations, or reviewing your plan for the day. Morning habits anchor your mindset before the world's distractions begin. Throughout the day, schedule small blocks of focused work that move you closer to your 90-day goal. Even 20 minutes of concentrated effort daily can produce massive results when accumulated over time. It is also important to eliminate habits that conflict with your purpose. If your goal is financial growth, reduce distractions that waste time or money. If your goal is physical improvement, reduce behaviors that drain your energy. Transformation requires not only building new habits, but also releasing old ones that no longer serve you. The next 90 days are a chance to examine your behaviors closely and choose which ones you want to carry into your future. Track your daily actions. Napoleon Hill encouraged self-accountability because it builds awareness. When you record your habits each day, whether successful or imperfect, you reinforce your commitment. You begin to see your progress take shape, and this builds momentum. The more days you complete, the more you strengthen your identity as someone who follows through. These daily habits, repeated consistently, become the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. They turn your 90-day purpose into something real, measurable, and achievable. Napoleon Hill taught that the human mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and yet it is also the most vulnerable if left unguarded. For the next 90 days, controlling your thoughts is not simply a suggestion, it is a requirement. Every thought you allow into your mind plants a seed, and those seeds grow into beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, and ultimately, the results you experience in your life. If the seeds are negative, your results will mirror that negativity. But if the seeds are positive, strengthened by clarity, discipline, and purpose, your life will begin to transform in profound ways. The mind must be treated like a garden. If you do not intentionally cultivate it, one of Napoleon Hill's most important teachings is that action is the bridge between desire and achievement. You can have a clear purpose, a powerful mindset, and the right habits, but without action, consistent, deliberate action, nothing changes. The next 90 days must be defined not by intention alone, but by movement. Progress comes from doing, not thinking about doing. And the truth is, you will rarely feel completely ready. Hill emphasized that readiness is not a prerequisite for success, movement is. Taking bold action does not mean taking reckless action. It means choosing courage over comfort. It means moving forward even when your mind raises doubts or excuses. It means acting before conditions feel perfect. because conditions will never be perfect. Waiting for the right moment is one of the greatest traps that prevents people from reaching their potential. The right moment is created, not discovered. It arises when you step forward and trust that clarity will come through experience. These next 90 days will challenge you to act even in moments of uncertainty. You may not know every step. You may not see the entire path. But Hill taught that you only need to see the first step. Once you take it, the next step appears. Action creates clarity. Every time you move, you gain information, insight, momentum, and confidence. What once felt intimidating becomes manageable simply because you chose to begin. Bold action is often small at first. It may be a single email, a single workout, a single hour of focused effort, or a single brave decision. But these small actions accumulate. They compound. They begin shaping your identity, not through your intentions, but through your behavior. When you act consistently, even in small ways, you start to trust yourself. You develop internal evidence that you are capable of following through, and that self-trust becomes one of your greatest strengths. But action must be consistent. A burst of effort followed by long periods of inactivity will not create lasting change. Hill believed in persistence, the ability to keep moving even when results are slow, when challenges appear, or when motivation fades. Consistency is what builds momentum, and momentum is what creates transformation. When you commit to taking action daily, you stop negotiating with yourself. You remove hesitation. You eliminate the emotional battles that drain your energy. Action becomes your default response. And you must understand that discomfort is part of the process. Growth always demands that you step outside your familiar patterns. You will feel resistance. You will feel fear. Your old habits will try to pull you back into comfort. But every time you act in the face of discomfort, you weaken the grip of those old patterns. You prove to yourself that fear is not a barrier. It is simply a signal that you are expanding beyond your limitations. During these 90 days, you are training your mind and body to move with purpose. You are teaching yourself that taking action is not optional, but essential. And as you continue to act consistently, without needing to feel ready, without waiting for perfection, you begin transforming not only your habits, but your destiny. For the next 90 days, one of the most transformative things you can do is intentionally shape the environment around you. Napoleon Hill repeatedly emphasized that your surroundings, your conversations, the people you interact with, the content you absorb, and even the atmosphere of your daily life have a direct impact on your mindset and results. Hill called this the mastermind concept, the idea that when you surround yourself with the right energy, the right people, and the right influences, your potential expands far beyond what you could achieve alone. Your environment is always influencing you, whether you are aware of it or not. The voices you hear daily become the voices inside your mind. If you are surrounded by negativity, doubt, gossip, or small thinking, those patterns will seep into your subconscious. They will weaken your belief, drain your energy, and quietly diminish your ambition. But if you surround yourself with uplifting voices, people who believe in growth, people who encourage discipline, people who see possibilities instead of problems, your entire internal world begins to rise to that level. For these next 90 days, you must become intentional about who and what you allow into your mental space. Start by reducing contact with anyone who consistently brings negativity, discouragement, or fear into your life. This doesn't mean judging or shaming them. It means protecting your focus. Your mind is your greatest asset, and you must guard it with discipline. Replace those influences with positive content, books, audio programs, podcasts, and videos from individuals who reinforce the mindset you are building. Hill believed that what you read and listen to daily becomes the food of your mind, shaping your beliefs and behaviors. Accountability is another vital element. When you share your 90-day purpose with someone who supports your growth, you create a sense of responsibility that strengthens your discipline. Humans naturally perform at a higher level when someone is watching, when someone is cheering for them, or even simply when someone is aware of their goals. Accountability transforms silent intentions into commitments. It creates pressure, not the destructive kind, but the kind that sharpens your focus and strengthens your resolve. If you cannot find accountability in a friend or mentor, create it yourself. Write your goals where you can see them every day. Track your progress. Record your actions. Speak your intentions aloud. Every form of accountability keeps your purpose active in your awareness. Hill often talked about the power of repetition and visibility, because what you consistently bring to mind, you eventually bring into reality. Surrounding yourself with positive influence also means creating an environment that supports action. This includes your physical space. Clean your workspace. Organize your home. Remove clutter that distracts your mind. Your outer environment affects your inner clarity. When your surroundings are orderly, your thoughts become more focused, your stress decreases, and your energy increases. The next 90 days are a chance to upgrade your circle, not by eliminating people, but by elevating your standards. Seek out individuals who inspire you, who challenge you, who encourage you to rise higher. Engage in conversations that stimulate growth and creativity. Hill believed that no one succeeds alone. Success is a collective energy influenced by the people you allow into your world. When you intentionally surround yourself with positivity and accountability, you create an environment where your purpose is constantly reinforced, your discipline is supported, and your personal growth becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Monitoring your progress is one of the most powerful habits you can develop over the next 90 days. Napoleon Hill emphasized the importance of self-analysis, reflection, and feedback because success is never a straight line. It is a process of continual learning, seeing what works, recognizing what doesn't, and adjusting your strategy with intention. When you take the time to review your actions, you transform your 90-day journey from a blind effort into a focused evolution. Reflection gives you clarity. It allows you to understand how your daily habits, thoughts, and choices are shaping your results. When you track your progress, you create awareness of your strengths, your weaknesses, your patterns, and your tendencies. Many people struggle not because they lack potential, but because they lack awareness. They repeat the same habits without realizing it. They avoid the same challenges without noticing. They drift off course without conscious intention. Weekly monitoring eliminates this drift. It keeps you awake to your own life. For the next 90 days, set aside one specific time each week to review your progress. This ritual should be intentional, calm, and honest. No judgment, no self-criticism. Simply observation. Ask yourself questions such as, what actions moved me forward this week? What habits did I complete consistently? Where did I hesitate, and why? What felt difficult, and what felt easy? What can I improve next week? These questions shine a light on your behavior and help you refine your approach. Hill often said that success is a matter of understanding and controlling your own mind, and weekly reflection is how you understand it. When you see your patterns clearly, you stop being controlled by them. Instead, you begin directing them. You gain the power to adjust before small problems become major obstacles. You can course correct while your momentum is still strong. Tracking your progress also builds confidence. When you see what you've accomplished, even small wins, you strengthen your belief in your ability to continue. You begin to realize that change is happening, even if it feels slow in the moment. Progress rarely feels dramatic day to day, but when you look at a week's worth of actions or a month's worth of habits, the transformation becomes undeniable. This recognition fuels motivation and reinforces the identity you are building. Another important benefit of monitoring your progress is the ability to identify what isn't working. Many people cling to strategies that drain their energy, slow their momentum, or cause unnecessary stress simply because they never stop to evaluate them. But success requires adaptability. If a habit isn't producing results, adjust it. If a routine feels overwhelming, simplify it. If a method no longer aligns with your 90-day purpose, replace it. Hill believed in persistence, but not in stubbornness. You must be committed to your goal, but flexible in your approach. Weekly reflection also strengthens discipline. When you know you will review your progress every 7 days, you naturally feel more accountable. You become more intentional with your actions because you know you will face yourself at the end of the week. This accountability drives consistency and reduces procrastination. Finally, monitoring your progress turns your 90-day journey into a conscious, deliberate transformation. You are not hoping for change. You are designing it. You are not guessing your way forward. You are studying, adjusting, and evolving. When you review your progress weekly, you become the active creator of your development, shaping your path with clarity, purpose, and awareness. As you reach the close of this 90-day challenge, it's important to recognize that what you are stepping into is more than a temporary routine or a motivational experiment. It is the beginning of a new relationship with yourself, your habits, your mindset, and your future. The past 90 days were designed not just to push you into action, but to awaken something within you, something that may have been quiet, overlooked, or forgotten. Napoleon Hill believed that every individual holds within them a level of power, discipline, and creativity that often remains dormant until it is deliberately activated. These 90 days have served as that activation. Through discipline, purposeful habits, weekly reflection, and the reshaping of your environment, you have engaged in a process of becoming. You have built momentum not through sudden bursts of energy, but through consistent, intentional steps taken day after day. Even if the journey was imperfect, which it always is, you still moved forward. You still made choices that aligned with growth. You still proved to yourself that change doesn't require perfection, it requires direction. And you chose direction. This period has also revealed something equally important. That transformation is not a single event. It isn't something that happens suddenly or dramatically. It is crafted in the quiet spaces of daily effort, in the moments when you did what you said you would do, even when you didn't feel like it, in the moments when you chose discipline over distraction, purpose over comfort, vision over doubt. These small moments form the architecture of a new identity, an identity rooted in strength, self-respect, and clarity. As Hill taught, success is built on a foundation of thought. Over these 90 days, you have reshaped not only what you do, but how you think. You've learned to direct your mind more consciously instead of letting it be pulled by habit or circumstance. Whether you realized it or not, your thinking patterns have shifted. Your inner dialogue has improved. Your expectations of yourself have risen. You now understand that mindset is not just a concept, it is a tool, a discipline, and a responsibility. Another profound shift that has occurred during this period is your relationship with time. Most people underestimate what they can do in 90 days because they have never approached their life with focus sustained long enough to see results. But you have. You have discovered that 90 days is enough to build a habit, enough to rewire a belief, enough to shift your direction, and enough to create the first layer of a long-term transformation. You have proven to yourself that time becomes powerful when used intentionally. You have also strengthened your ability to self-correct. Through monitoring, reflecting, and adjusting, you've learned how to navigate obstacles with awareness instead of frustration. The challenges you faced were not signs of failure. They were necessary parts of growth. They taught you resilience, adaptability, and inner strength. They showed you that setbacks are not endpoints, but turning points. They reminded you that persistence is a choice made moment by moment. Most importantly, these 90 days have shown you that you are capable of far more than you previously believed. You have tapped into discipline, focus, clarity, commitment, and mental power that many people never access because they never push themselves long enough to uncover it. Now you have experienced it. And once you experience your own potential, you cannot unknow it.